Hey Colts fans, this is Brad Wells of Stampede Blue, and we're talking about the 3 pivotal road games for the Indianapolis Colts in 2012. First pivotal road game for the Colts is actually Week 1, the first game of the regular season, and it's against the Chicago Bears at Soldier Field. Now, the reason this is a pivotal game is because it's the first road game for these new era Colts and for first overall draft pick Andrew Luck. How Andrew Luck will perform going into Soldier Field and playing against the Bears will be very critical for this team. We saw in his first road game as a professional against the Pittsburgh Steelers, he throws a pick-6 in the first quarter and then comes back on the next drive and leads the team 80 yards for a touchdown. After that pick-6 against the Steelers, he goes on and leads them to 17 unanswered points. If he has a very similar response against the Chicago Bears, who will most likely get some turnovers out of him because he's a rookie after all, then the Colts will be just fine in that game. That's a very tall order because this Bears defense is very good, which leads me to my second point. Colts going up against the Bears. The Bears have Julius Peppers, they have Lance Briggs, and they have a much improved front four going after the quarterback. How the Colts will handle that pressure and that front that the Bears throw at them will be very critical for them to succeed. The other point to make in this is that Brian Urlacher has had a knee ailment that's lingered for him all offseason and all into the preseason. If Urlacher is not healthy, that's going to be beneficial to the Colts. If he is healthy and goes out there and plays, it just makes Andrew Luck's job all the more difficult. The final point to make about this game is that the Colt defense is going to have to go up against the Bears offense, which is certainly, at this point, almost as good as their defense. Jay Cutler is back, they have Matt Forte, and they have wide receiver Brandon Marshall, who will pose all sorts of nightmare matchups for the Colts secondary. So for this game, I predict that the Colts will lose. I know that's hard to say, but I think they're going to lose the game. This is just too important a game for the Bears to lose. It's their home opener, and I think the Colts will lose the game 27-17. The second pivotal road game for the Colts happens in Week 8, and it's against the Tennessee Titans. And the Tennessee Titans have always been difficult for the Colts to beat on the road, so that's point number 1. Titans are tough at home, and they're tough against the Colts. They have a good coaching staff. Last year they were 8-8, and this year they should be just as good, if not better. One of the reasons they could be better is because they just named Jake Locker as their starting quarterback, and Locker presents some problems for the Colt defense in that he can throw the ball pretty well. He's got a strong arm, and he's a scrambler. So stopping his ability to scramble for first downs will be very critical for the Colts. The other thing you have to factor in is Chris Johnson. Chris Johnson is an explosive running back. Last year he had a bit of a down year. If Johnson bounces back and gets to anything close to what he used to be, that is always a problem for any defense, let alone the Colt defense, which is transitioning in 2012 from a 4-3 front to a 3-4 front. So that's going to be tricky for them. The other part of it as well is that you have Andrew Luck going into Tennessee for the first time and playing a division game. And he'll be on the road for other games, but division road games, always very critical. So for this game, I actually think the Colts will win this game, which I'm very excited to say. If they go on the road and beat the Tennessee Titans, I think they have the potential to be contenders in their division, but that's still a tall order. I think that they'll win the game 21-13. The final pivotal road game for the Colts is against the New England Patriots in Week 11. Yes, the New England Patriots, the team we all just love to hate. But do we still hate them? More importantly, do they still hate the Colts? So much of what fueled this rivalry was Peyton Manning versus Bill Belichick. Well, Peyton Manning now plays in Denver. Now we have Andrew Luck. Does Andrew Luck against Bill Belichick continue to fuel this rivalry? That'll be an interesting question to see. If Andrew Luck goes into Foxborough and plays very well and maybe even beats the Patriots, that will keep this rivalry going for more years. One of the ways they're going to have to do this, if Luck, who is a cerebral quarterback, goes out there and is able to control the blitzes that Bill Belichick throws at him, much the same way Peyton Manning was able to control the blitzes that Belichick threw at him recently, though, over the long term, Belichick and Manning's battles were always some of the best games of the week. One thing that the Colts will have to contend with is obviously Tom Brady. And so much of stopping Tom Brady is pressuring Tom Brady. The Colts' 2 pass rushers are Dwight Freeney and Robert Mathis, and those 2 guys are transitioning this year from defensive ends to linebackers. Robert Mathis always says that one of his favorite things in the world is to sack Tom Brady. And if the Colts are going to have any chance to beat the Patriots in Week 11, he will have to sack Brady or pressure him early and often. The final thing about this game is that the Colt offense is going to have to control the Patriots' front four. Patriots went out this offseason and drafted a couple of guys that will be able to help them. One of them is Donta Hightower out of Alabama. Patriots want to pressure the quarterback more because they do not want to see people like Eli Manning throwing fourth-quarter touchdown passes to win games against them. So Colt offensive line will probably have its hands full against the New England Patriots front in Week 11. I predict a loss in this game. It's really difficult to say that, but I think that the Colts will lose. And I think the reason they'll lose is because Tom Brady's still great and the Patriot defense will be better. And I think they'll lose this game, and it'll be close. I think they'll lose it 27-20. So those are the 3 pivotal road games for the Indianapolis Colts in 2012, but they're not the only road games. You probably have some pivotal road games that you think are critical. Subscribe, comment. Footballs are right around the corner. We'll see you soon.